Welcome to the very first episode of the We Are Gods podcast. I am your host, Brix, and I help top performers like yourself master your health and to build a physique that commands respect. And in this episode, we're going to get into why your physique has so much to do with almost every area of your life. I used to be 160 pounds overweight. I was 360 pounds. I was morbidly obese. I had high blood pressure, diabetes. I was basically suicidal, right? And in 2013, I decided to take control of my health and I manned up. What I mean by manning up is I stopped avoiding the uncomfortable emotions. I stopped avoiding the work that my spirit was inspiring me to do in order to really level up my life. And my life's mission right now is to support other top performers in achieving that, right? Because I have peace, I make money, I have a life of freedom. I have a body that I am proud of. I feel confident in any room that I walk into, and I want that for you. There's no better feeling than this. Let me tell you, there's no better feeling. You focused a lot on building your career or building your family, or you've invested a lot of energy into your relationship. Let me tell you, when you put that energy and effort into building your dream physique, it's going to make every area of your life improve 100x. There are no words to describe how much better your relationships, your career, your confidence, your swag, your relationships with your children, with your parents, with everyone. You're going to become a 10x version of yourself once you build the physique and you start to form the habits that will ensure that you have access to the most vitality. That's one of my favorite words, right? Have access to the most vitality possible. All right. So today's episode, I kind of want to go over what I'm going to be talking about. First thing I'm going to talk about is why, as a high performer, it's important for you to have a physique that you're proud of, right? Why the appearance of your physique is so important. The next thing I want to talk about is the definition of health mastery, right? It's in my tagline. I help high performers master their health. Now, I want to really break down why it's important to understand this term health mastery, and I want to give clarity around what it actually means. I also want to talk about the unconventional approach to physique sculpting. I don't like the term weight loss. We're going to talk about that as well. I don't like, I'm trying to lose weight. Nah, what you're trying to do is sculpt your physique. It's two different things between, hey, I just want to lose weight, and no, bro, I want to sculpt a masterful physique, right? It even feels different when I say it, right? So we're going to get into that. And I'm also going to share the outline of my fail-proof system. Pretty much guarantees success at you sculpting your physique or losing weight, whatever your goal is, right? You don't have to use my words. So first and foremost, like I said, let's talk about why it's important for a high performer to have a physique that they're proud of. Our bodies tell our stories. When we walk into a room, before we even open our mouths, our bodies already introduced ourselves to the room before we even said anything, right? So with that being said, your confidence, how you feel, right? Because that's the thing. People see you, but it's more than just what they see with their eyes. It has a lot to do with the energy, the aura that you bring to a room, right? The confidence is felt. It's not just seen, it's felt. And when you not only look the part, right? Because that's one thing. I have a six-pack. I have amazing arms, and I'm not trying to brag about myself, but the confidence came from who I became in order to build that physique, right? The day in and day out habits and discipline and willpower. This is what made me confident. My physical form is just a result of these habits, these rituals, this routine that I've built, right? And of course, it helps to look good. But let me tell you this, and this is a perfect example. So my mission here is to help high performers optimize their health. And I want to do that by building healthy, high performer communities. I want to talk to you. I want to understand what's going on in your mental and emotional world. I want to understand what your roadblocks are, what your frustrations are. And that only happens through conversation. So if you're ready to take your journey to the next level and you need some support, you need a roadmap, I want you to sign up for a discovery call. I'm doing free discovery calls for qualified participants. And if you're not quite ready to get on the phone with me, then sign up for the email newsletter. Because anybody who's a part of my email family, you know I give you guys such valuable, insightful information that's gonna help prepare you to level up your health. All right, so one of two things: sign up for a free discovery call or join the newsletter. The link is in the description below. And of course, it helps to look good. But let me tell you this, and this is a perfect example. If right now you're overweight, right, and you have a beer belly and you don't feel too good about your physique. If I had a magic wand and I just poof, gave you a six pack, gave you a chiseled chest, gave you the boulder block shoulders and dope arms, right? And you look like a WWF wrestler, you're still not going to be confident. Let me tell you, because on the inside, nothing changed. I waved the magic wand, I gave you the perfect body, but on the inside, you remain the same fat dude who lacked confidence, who has bad habits. And honestly, eventually what's gonna happen is you're gonna return to that form. You're gonna return to the version of your body that you had before I magically gave you this WWF wrestler body. I say that to promote the value of the process, right? So yes, having a top tier physique, right? Feeling confident when you walk in a room. The confidence, again, is not because of what you look like. Yes, it's part of it, but really it's who you have to be in order to have that physique. So it enhances your confidence. And it's also about having a positive self-image. Listen, there's no better feeling than walking into the bathroom, taking off your clothes before you get in the shower, glancing at the mirror and feeling proud. Let me tell you, when I take off my clothes and I feel this overwhelming feeling of joy and pride that I've built this physique, and that's a top tier feeling. So having positive self-image, it bleeds into every area of your life. It dictates what you tolerate from the world, because you're that dude or you're that chick. Most likely you're that dude. I'm pretty sure it's mostly men listening to this podcast, but I don't want to exclude my high performing women. But just knowing that you've done all the hard work in order to build that physique, you've mastered parts of yourself that in the past was sabotaging you, right? You've mastered, or at least you're on the path to mastering your relationship with food. You're mastering your willpower and discipline. You've conquered moments when you didn't feel like going to the gym, when you didn't feel like doing that extra rep, when you didn't feel like eating that meal prep meal, when you didn't feel like skipping, the social gathering so that you can get enough sleep so that you can hit the gym in the morning. Right? That is the thing that gives you the aura when you walk into the room. Now, obviously, having an amazing physique helps you in the dating world, right? Now, I don't know if you're married or if you're single, if you're dating, whatever the case may be, but even if you're married, having a chiseled physique, having a physique that makes you feel like a Greek god, your confidence, the respect that it will command from your confident wife. Let me say this, because if you're, and I don't want to get too far into this rabbit hole, but if your partner is insecure, building this physique may make them more insecure, but that's another conversation. But you feeling more attractive, again, it's one of those things that makes every part of your life better, right? Your relationships, you feel better in your relationships because you have more confidence. Confidence is the most important essence that a man can have, that anyone can have. But I'm telling you, if you right now, you struggle with your confidence, if you just commit your life to doing the things, developing the daily habits that will help you build your confidence, that is like the magic pill that will make every area of your life improve significantly. All right. So obviously you feel more confident. Now let's just talk about the health and longevity aspects of it, right? This goes without saying. Even if your motivation to build this physique is surface level, you're still going to get the health benefits. You're still going to live longer. You're still going to feel stronger. You're still going to age better, right? So that one sounds pretty obvious, but seriously, it's a big thing. Now, one thing that I've noticed as I got in shape is that my productivity went through the roof, as well as my energy. I have more energy to experience life with. I'm able to do more with my children. I'm able to get more out of my days. And I don't have to take naps. Like when I go on vacation, I can start my day at 6 a.m. and I can go until midnight, and I never need to take a rest, which allows me to experience more, right? Because I don't feel sore. I don't feel tired. These are the little details that we tend to forget about when we're pursuing weight loss or when we're pursuing. So the next section of this podcast, I want to talk about health mastery. All of these, because health mastery is a pillar that will absolutely change the entire podcast of this entire mission of supporting top performers. I want you to understand deeply what I mean by health mastery. So I wrote down a good definition. Health mastery is taking complete control of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being through disciplined practices, informed choices, and consistent self-awareness so that you can dominate all aspects of your life. Now, let's break that down. All right? Taking complete control of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Wellness. Feeling great, right? Overall, it's not just about physical. You can focus so much on your physical and neglect your mental or emotional well-being, and you will not feel good. You can focus on your emotional and mental well-being, but if your body doesn't feel good, you're not in an optimal state. So understanding that this is a holistic journey. You have to be mindful of your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, and your spiritual health. If you really want to really become the most optimized version of yourself. Now, I love this part where I talked about disciplined practices. Now, I am a man whose entire identity is anchored on my disciplines. I am who I am. I can sit here and look you in the eyes. If you're watching this, I can look you in the eyes right now and speak confidently about all of these things because of the honor and the consistency that I have with my daily disciplines. You cannot achieve health mastery if you do not have structured disciplines in your life. These disciplines can include exercise, obviously. Exercise, eating healthy, these are the obvious. But mindfulness, which I call inner strength training. If you don't have a discipline in your life that helps you build emotional resilience, if you cannot control your emotions as a high performer, you are probably operating at 50% of your capacity. And in order to develop the ability to control your emotions, you have to practice. So you got to have a discipline in place that helps you build that part of yourself. And in later episodes, we'll get into the details of the different disciplines that you can install into your day. Emotional well-being, mental well-being. My disciplines include journaling. My disciplines include yoga, breath work, weightlifting. And these are all disciplines that I do on a daily basis in order to build my mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual life. So later episodes, I'm going to definitely break down how you can figure out which disciplines work for you, how to create accountability around these disciplines. But this is a pivotal part of health mastery, is having disciplines. Now, right? So health mastery is taking complete control of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being through disciplined practices, informed choices, and consistent self-awareness so that you can dominate all aspects of your life. Now let's talk about the informed choices, right? Taking complete control of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being through disciplined practices, informed choices. Now, your choices, your life is pretty much the result of the choices that you make every day. And your choices are usually made with what you know about yourself, what you know about the world, what you know about the people you're interacting with, what you know about the direction that you're trying to go, right? What you're trying to achieve. So the more you know, the better choices you make. But the most important thing to know is your motherfucking self. Self-knowledge. All wisdom starts with self-knowledge. And going back to the disciplines thing, you have to have some sort of discipline, some sort of element of your routine that allows you to get to know yourself better. Journaling is that tool for me. Intentional self-reflection, I do it daily. And again, I'll give you guys more tools and more direct instructions about this stuff in later episodes, but I just want to introduce these concepts to you because making informed choices and making sure that you're constantly learning things to improve your choice-making skills is essential for health mastery. Okay? Now, self-awareness, man, where do I even start on this topic? I talked about knowledge of self being the most important thing when it comes to becoming wiser, making better choices. Self-awareness is the key to the control panels of your life. If you want to change anything about yourself, if you want to become better in your relationships, in your career, in your health, you got to know yourself on a deep level. You have to understand the nature of your mind. You have to understand the nature of your emotions. You have to be able to pick up on patterns. You have to know what your triggers are. You have to know your strengths. You have to know your weaknesses. And self-awareness gives you this information. But again, self-awareness is something that you have to be courageous in order to build. You have to be reflective, right? You have to crave the knowledge of what's going on in your mind, right? In your subconscious mind, what's going on with you emotionally. And that shit's not fun. A lot of us, we numb. We rather just drink it away. We rather just jerk off so that we don't have to sit with our thoughts, so we don't have to sit with our emotions. And when you do that, you're cheating yourself of the opportunity to gain more wisdom about yourself. And again, health mastery, you have to know who you are, why you're here, where you're going, what's important to you. You have to know your values. You have to know yourself on a deep level if you want to achieve self-mastery. All right. So the next and final thing I want to talk about is the fail-proof system to you achieving your dream physique. Now, there's certain elements in this system that are absolutely non-negotiable. But everyone's journey is different. What works for you may not work for me and vice versa. But I think there are some pivotal principles that should apply, and I'm going to confidently say that will apply to anyone's successful physique transformation journey. The first element that I'm going to discuss is your daily disciplines. What are you doing every single day? That's going to ensure that this goal of this physique transformation is actually going to happen. What are the metrics that you're actually tracking to ensure that you're on your path to reaching that goal? I'm really big on inner strength training. Call it mindfulness, call it meditation, call it whatever you need to call it in order for you to fucking do it every day. Taking a moment, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I do it 20 minutes at least every day. And I'm just sitting with myself. I'm paying attention to my breath, because taking a moment allows me to understand what's happening in my inner world. What is going on in my mind? What is going on in my emotions? Why am I craving certain things? Why is my motivation up and down? Why can't I commit to a routine? What is happening? You have to take that moment every day to reflect, to understand, so that you can adjust whatever it is you need to adjust in order to get yourself on the path that you're trying to go. And it takes intention. So first element of the fail-proof system is some sort of daily moment of silence. The second element, I'm a big proponent of tracking data. I track data in almost every area of my life. But when we're talking about physique transformation, getting on the scale every day is going to be vital. Preferably a smart scale. And it's not to judge yourself, because a lot of us, we have this negative relationship with the scale because of the emotions it brings up. But again, those emotions are there to communicate something to you. So if you avoid the scale because you don't want to deal with the emotions, you're almost contributing to the issue here. As a high performer, it's part of our identities to face everything head on. We don't avoid it. If you avoid discomfort, you're doing yourself a disservice. So if you avoid the scale because you don't want to feel bad about yourself, you know why you fucking feel bad about yourself? It's because you made a promise to yourself, AKA a goal, and your choices, your behaviors, the things that you're doing, the things that you're eating, the things that you're not doing, isn't aligning with that goal, right? Isn't aligning with that process. So of course you're going to feel negative emotions about that. All right. So be intentional about sitting with whatever negative emotion comes up when you get on that scale. But anyway, measuring your calorie intake, right? Tracking your protein intake, getting on the scale every single day is a part of the fail-proof system. If you do this every day, you are mindful, right? You take 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes every day to be in silence. And then you add this next part, which is documenting intentional self-reflection, basically journaling. Have a moment every day where you review your choices. I tend to do this in the evening. My We Are God's coaching program clients, I send them a text every evening and I have them reflect. I have them think about the choices they made nutritionally, think about the choices they made with activity, whether that included rest or a workout, and I have them check in with themselves mentally and emotionally. And I ask them to rate themselves and maybe jot down a few sentences about each, because you don't learn in the moment. The wisdom that we gain from experiences don't happen while we're living them. The wisdom is gained when we reflect on these moments. And having a systematic approach to reflecting and documenting what you learn, it's a way to kind of 10x your wisdom. It's a way to make yourself way more emotionally intelligent. It increases your knowledge of self. It's an absolute game changer when you do this consistently over time. All right. So again, the elements of the fail-proof system: having a daily moment of silence where you're just sitting with your thoughts. I call it inner strength training. Tracking your data. What are you eating? Stepping on that scale every day. Having a systematic approach to self-reflection, documenting it, whether it's writing it in a journal, whether that's doing a voice note, but having some way to intentionally capture the thoughts from your reflection on your choices for that day. Now, it's impossible for you not to experience change in yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally if you commit to this every single day. It's impossible. I promise you it's impossible for you not to change. All right. So I'm super excited about this podcast, guys. Leave us a review wherever you're listening to this, on Spotify, Apple, on YouTube. Put it in the comment section below if this was helpful for you. All right. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I have amazing guests on the way. I have 2 co-hosts, my man Willie and my man Juan, who's going to be a part of this journey with me. Let me know the type of topics you want to discuss on the podcast. What are your pain points? What's important to you? This podcast is not about me sitting here in front of this camera, in front of this microphone, just kind of rambling. I want to serve you guys. I want to be a huge support in helping you reach your goals. All right. So bless me with the insight that will help me become more effective at doing that. Until next week, I love you guys. I'm going to figure out a nice little sign off, tagline eventually. But for now, peace out.